with CLG's victorious jungler.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm here with Xmithy from CLG. Xmithy, first series win here in the BO3 format. How does it feel to finally get that underneath your belt?
Well, during like scrim times when we played, I didn't really expect us to win. So it's kind of surprising, and yeah, I'm pretty excited on how our progress is going to be. We're still really learning all the objectives and how we play in the game. So
Nice. And coming back from MSI, you do have that little bit of ramp-up time. So it's the beginning of the split, probably not a huge deal. I want to get into your career a little bit here because you just took down Dardoch on TL, who was rookie of the split last split, and you ended game 2 with the most kills that you have had in your career in a single game. People say that you're underrated and overlooked. How do you feel about those comments when you're performing so well?
well, people have been saying that since like the Vulcan days, so I haven't been really paying attention to it that much. To be honest, I don't really care what the community thinks about me. I only care about what my teammates think, and I only strive for that.
And so final question here, Xmithy. People say, you know, like I said, underrated and all of that. Is this the season that Xmithy isn't underrated? He's just damn good.
Maybe, I don't know.
Thank you very much, Xmithy. Congratulations on the win, and hopefully more for CLG in the future. We're going to throw it over to the analyst desk to break down that CLG win.
Thank you very much, Cyrene. CLG getting their first match win of the split, so they'll be very happy to have that weight lifted off their shoulders as there was so much expectation for this squad coming into the split. Off the back of Xmithy there, too. I mean, he really has stepped up in terms of getting people going early. But let's dive into this matchup because we had a lopsided game 1 going to Team Liquid. We had a lopsided game 2 going to CLG. This one started out in favor of CLG. Team Liquid started to pull it back. And then it all just kind of falls apart again. So Mark, I'm coming to you first because honestly, this series has only served to confuse me more when it comes to Team Liquid and how they're approaching playing League of Legends.
I don't understand it either. It's just seemingly, like, for lack of a better word, just brain dead. Like, what are you doing? Like, at least these kills, why are they, like, still mid, trying to hold 3v5 or whatever it was, and then dying one at a time? Like, just back off, sack the inhib. The game's not over. Your comp is good. You have this inhib turret open top. That's already down. Like, they're not in this, like, oh my God, we need to win moment, but they're just playing like so unconsciously. They're just doing things, it seems like.
Right, and then we contrast that with, for example, what we saw in the mid lane when they pick up 2 kills plus a mid turret being down in gold, having a gold deficit. So it's not like they don't know how to play League of Legends correctly. It's not like they don't have moments of brilliance, but they're definitely not playing consistently as of yet.
I think you were spot on with saying that they're just not very conscious about what's going on. You know, we were discussing when they first picked Viz on that bottom, they're like, oh man, that's such a mistake from Darshan. What are they going to do now? And then they're really just not being aware of what are they trying to do next, because Zyra just walks up, Azir just walks up, and one by one just keeps going in there. Where's the cohesion? Who's bringing this team together in communicating that, you know, the game's not over, guys? Just rally back, bring it back together. We have engaged, we have a lot of wave clear. This mid inhibitor doesn't mean anything, but there's just none of that going on, and they just keep relentlessly fighting. And it seems like nobody's willing to give up anything, and that's just not how you're going to play this game.
Right, and you can see that sometimes that play style works out, because there was the play bottom where they aggressively held that turret with the Maokai and Azir. It slowed CLG down to the point where they were able to take the top inhib that kind of starts opening this game up to get into this like wonky state. But that same play style will absolutely crush you sometimes, which we saw when they're trying to hold 3v5 and at least them losing the game. And it feels like it's not calculated, right? Like we're gonna hold everything we can, and like regardless of the circumstance. And that's just not, you can't play the game that way. I don't think it's too volatile.
All right, but of course we do have to look at the victors in this series in CLG, and in particular, our player of the game, Xmithy, for getting his team out to an early lead, just like he did in Game 2 of this series on this Elise, showing up, picking up the early kills, putting Stixxay, for example, in a position to carry late game, because Stixxay 7-1-3 on the Caitlyn, definitely putting out plenty of damage, but it's because of what Smithy does in the early game to help him get there.
So the first thing I want to look at is his first gank on mid lane, which we were discussing. That's an unconventional route to gank on mid lane, which obviously was taking notes from MLXG at MSI, ganking mid lane on the lane swap from the strong side, and it worked wonderfully, getting first blood and really setting up that snowball, and we saw a lot of moments where CLG was having a lot of commitment to these plays. When Alistar flashes in, Elise does not hesitate to just flash in and follow it up, and that's what we were expecting from CLG, and we're finally starting to see them, bring it back. See the CLG that won the second place at MSI.
Yeah, I think especially with the carry tops kind of becoming more meta, you're going to see a lot of synergy between Darshan and Smithy, especially if Smithy keeps playing this well, because he kind of controlled game 2 completely, and they're giving like the Fizz, Swain, and they lost the 2v2 snowball top lane really hard the first game, but that's the thing about a best of 3 series is you can adapt moving forward and know that like, okay, they're targeting Darshan, let's change up the picks or something and start giving him more attention.
Yep, CLG are defending champs, picking up their first match victory of the split. They're going to be very happy with that one. Over on NALCS 2, we do have TSM and Apex series getting just underway. Biofrost picking up that Bard, Haunts are on the Swain, so if you're curious about how that series is going to go and whether or not TSM will stay at the top of the table, go check that out. For now, though, we're about to send it to a commercial break, so stay where you are. When we return, Freshman Squad Phoenix 1 will take on Cloud9 here on NALCS 1. We'll be right back.
Here, it is the Kindred versus Elise, which, interestingly enough, Xsmithy is very confident on Elise into the Kindred matchup.
And now Dardoch going to try and get the kill, but he gets stunned just as the ulti ends, and Darshan's still around. Xsmithy having to fight. Dardoch going to get taken out by the Elise.
Wrong on where he's...
Oh! Got Matt, that's maybe a kill, they will get it, he hops out of the way, Afro back in there, gets a knock up, and Dardoch taking fire, Stixay gets the first kill, oh no, that's bad for Phoenix, he's popped the sign, yes! Stixay just takes him out with one fell bullet. Darshan gonna move in, he's gonna find him out, Phoenix, huge pushback, gets Afro, not enough, the exhaust is down, but Dardoch gets back, no, CLG, take the Nexus and the series.
What a chaotic ending to a crazy series.